Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there. Welcome back, everybody.
So, really excited about this one, guys, that we're going to share with you because it feels so good. And, really, I was just saying to Cindy, I can't think of anything really more important to get across to anybody. But some of the concepts that we're going to share with you guys, which have been formulating in us over the years. And again, many times I think I make reference to things, or we talk about things in a video, but maybe we don't elaborate enough on because we're trying to cover this, we're trying to cover that, So this time we're going to go a little bit deeper in to some of the real mysteries, those things that are so hidden from us that the controllers don't want you knowing this. They don't want you knowing this at any cost. Their whole paradigm just falls totally flat and just is crumbled away with the realization of who we are and what really is everything, the all, our reality. And before we get going, please do subscribe to both channels, Evolutionary Energy Arts. Yesterday we were talking about, will the real Joe Biden Slim Shady please stand up? Yeah, I mean, that's the same day these were given. Obviously there's something strange there. And then over on EEARTS, we were talking about the floods going on in the St. Louis area, and now it's over in Kentucky. Again, please send prayers to everybody that is experiencing all these earth changes with a lot of augmentation going on.
I really do enjoy these videos that we're going to put back up, but it's something where you can't really be pressured to do these. It can't be forced. This is from inspiration. And when you look at that word inspiration, it means in spirit. So it's like a calling. It's information asking to come out when it's ready. So we don't get a lot of these out, but gosh, they feel good and they're enjoyable.
Absolutely. I don't fear death at all. Not in the least. Of course, we never want to die a painful death. No, who would want that? But as far as the passing over and leaving this physical body, it doesn't cause me any semblance of fear, any anxiety. There's zero. Because I know the reality of what lies beyond. I know it from direct experience. Again, it's all about direct experience. We can all, study this, study that. We could regurgitate back facts and figures, get our little, 4.0 or our A plus, our little silver star on the forehead, and not know a damn thing. That's just the reality of it. When you experience something, then you know it's real, and it's all about a knowing that doesn't really come from the brain. The brain is just it's part of the operating system of this vehicle that you're in, just to get this temporary 3D experience. Because again, that's not the real us. When you look at the body, hey, most of us have had many of these, just like most of us have driven many cars over the course of our lives. It's just an operating system. The brain does not bring about consciousness. Consciousness is way before the brain is ever created. And, again, this world, everything is purposefully backwards. It's, as you can tell when we're looking at everything coming out of the politicians and all these official groups, all these official alphabet soups, it's almost as if they're incapable of telling us the truth. And in some ways they are. They can't tell us the truth. For one, they might not even know the truth themselves and understand it because it's literally over their head. It's over their frequency. They don't understand because they've purposefully limited themselves in so many ways. And it's really, really sad when you think about
it. It really is. And times are definitely changing. I don't know about you guys, but I really had such a difficult time in school. And I really cursed myself over that. I just thought I was so so dumb. I thought there was something wrong with me because I just couldn't take the information in, and I couldn't, regurgitate it the way they wanted. So I would get A's and B's, and it was so frustrating. But looking back, I understand that that's because I didn't click all the way into this 3D realm. And that's not a bad thing these days. I'm sure many of us, our children, some are probably really wanting to learn a lot, but then there's those children who also are struggling in school. And I think at a really deep level, these understandings come from the knowing that the school is only there to indoctrinate. It's not there to teach us. And that was just something that I had to accept about myself. And as soon as I found acceptance in that I'm different, but that doesn't make me bad, then I could really move forward in my life. It felt really good. And I think we have so many kids like that now. And many of you that are listening probably, we're much like me. We just haven't locked all the way into the 3D, but we haven't been told what's going on either. We haven't been taught anything about how to understand our bigger surroundings, how to understand the bigger picture. Some of it's because we probably aren't ready to understand that. Maybe there's parts of our consciousness that said, no, it's not time for you to understand that because you're having this experience now. And that's okay too. But to try to get a glimpse of the vastness and the array of energies that are out there and what we're experiencing, that's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun for us.
Absolutely. So we're going to share with you first a message that comes from the Arcturians. Now, we've been in communication with the Arcturians the entire time we've been together, and they've been working behind the scenes in both Cindy and my life the entirety of our lives. And there's a reason for that. There is a big reason for that. And, again, it's understanding ourselves. If you think that you are just this body, it's just not even a fraction of what you are. We are so much more. Our power, our ability to manifest is so incredible. It's been shut down in this 3D reality by the control system, mostly through dead-end, red herring belief systems that get us thinking that we're something much less than we really are. We have tremendous power. And the real selves, the higher self, you've heard that term, higher self. We're going to get into that. Your higher selves, if you were to know the entirety of who you really are, it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. And we've lost touch with that. But this is going to be all about that and this mission here. So we're going to be giving you this channeling. And this came through again this morning.
Connection with this channel. And the expansion of the heart chakra and throat chakra is coming along, yet still slow. These downloads from us today will be small but important. They will take more time to download to this channel. We have been wishing to make contact for some time now through this channel. We are the Arcturians. We are those that come to you during your time of rest and work on your energy bodies. We are one of your main supporters of your experience here on Earth. We are a large part of your higher self. We are masters of your DNA energy. This DNA we speak of is that is etheric in nature, not the 3D DNA that has been delayed and obstructed in your 3D bodies. We wish for you to understand some of the changes that are going on in your bodies. Although we do not want to interrupt this experience that you have chosen, your human experience is quite beautiful in many ways, although we do not understand some of your behaviors. But this is why we wish to observe you in many ways and help you understand your progress in times of perceived darkness. It is the human nature to want to know and understand future events, or what you perceive as future events. This chaos that has erupted is that of your choice. You are creating this entire experience. You are wishing to feel the full energy of sovereignty. You are wishing to experience this growth. In abundance. And we do work with other life forms on your planet. We are able to work through your pets. These creatures are very high vibrational beings, as they do not require labels and names for all that they see. This is your human nature, wishing to understand, so it creates many labels, understands that your pets that you love are in a place of being much of the time. Unless they are traumatized, this trauma can hinder the growth spiritually in people as it does in pets. We are wishing to convey to you the importance of healing your traumas in this life, as the upcoming lives will benefit from these healings. There are controllers in this world who have
created a diversion for your life force energy to siphon this energy off into their world. This is done through trauma, stress. You have the ability to break free from these entities and reclaim your experience here on this earth. We feel sometimes you just simply need to be reminded of how important you are. Without you, we are not able to have our experience, nor the Pleiadians, nor the Arcturians, nor the Blue Avians. There are many different entities in which you have split from in this world and others. We all work together. Whether you perceive and understand this information is unimportant. What we feel is important at this time is reminding you of your part in this experience allows us to also grow and learn. There are many forms of energy and experiences that can be seen through your 3D bodies, through your human experience that we are unable to define given your limited ability to create labels. We are quite fascinated with your ability to find new ways to understand the energies swirling around you. You are on your way back to your higher selves. This is true. Understanding the nature of who you are, we feel, is going to benefit your growth. We hope this has been helpful.
Yes. Thank you very much for sharing. One thing that I'm not sure if you want to comment on is the fact that each individual here is perhaps comprised of more than one higher self. Is this correct?
This is correct. You can see your beautiful colors, your beautiful swirling energies come from many different places, all forming one entity that is able to have multiple different experiences. This can be seen at times in your dream time. If you are not processing old traumas, you are seeing and experiencing your other lives, your other life forms. It is all connected. It is not always supposed to be understood. The importance of experience and being
Sorry about that, guys. We get disconnected here. Let me get back to that one segment.
Of this channel have the ability to break full traumas. You are seeing and experiencing your other lives, your other life forms. It is all connected.
You know, make a comment on that right now. You ever wonder just how real your dreams are? Just how real your dreams are. How your dreams, do you ever notice? Because I've noticed that in my dreams, the me is sometimes different. Sometimes I'm with people that I know. Sometimes I'm not with people that I know. Sometimes things feel familiar. Sometimes it feels kind of alien.
You know, and that's just something that's really, really interesting when you think about that. When you're in your dreams, you're always you, but you understand that there's something different. So really, I mean, as I sit here and talk to you, I know that I'm me, but at the same time, in one of my dreams, I could be having a completely different experience, and I'm not remembering this one, but I am in that experience in my dream, and I'm still me.
Absolutely.
It is not always supposed to be understood. The importance of experience and being. This is what we wish to highlight. That which helps you grow, that which serves you, is what you should embrace at this time. As your traumas are processed, your ability to reach your higher selves becomes understood, and you will attach to them, and you will remember more. This is only after your traumas are addressed. We hope this helps you.
Yes. Thank you very much. Is there anything else you'd like to share for this time?
We do love to watch you have your experiences with your time here on earth, and leaning into your pets, leaning into the animals, leaning into nature is what will bring you peace and healing. This is very important for your expansion. We feel we are losing this connection. This channel will over time expand. We should release her now.
So that's what we got from the Arcturians this time. And this is the first time they came through with a message kind of to give to everybody. Although we've talked to them countless times personally, this was the first time that they came across to share more with everybody out there. Now, the Arcturians are absolutely master geneticists, so to speak, but not geneticists in the terms that we think of. Again, the DNA we see in the physical body is reflected in the etheric, reflected into the higher realms. That's the DNA that goes on, so to speak. There was one person that made a comment about Aset and Isis and skin tone, and that's just not getting it, because again, light beings, this is what they are. They're beings of light. So this is completely different than what we see here on the 3D. This 3D experience, in many ways, is a unique adventure that a lot of these beings will take, not alone, even not just one of these beings. They get together and they have an idea, and they have something that they want to experience, and something that they find might be an interesting, almost like an experiment to play out, or hey, I got this idea for a great new game. How about this? We have this world, and this world is going through this and that, and people will be like, these beings in the higher densities will be either, yeah, I want to take part in that, or I'm not really interested in that one. Again, when we realize what our reality is, it's absolutely mind-blowing. It's not at all what we've been taught, not at all. And even when we get into the esoteric sides of things, I have yet to find any esoteric source that explains it so clearly, hopefully clearly and outright, besides maybe Maggie Leah Garfield's book, How the Universe Works. And she was a Pomono shaman, and she shared what she learned from her elders on down the line. And it's very much like that. It is very, very much like that. And I had recommended that book in the past, and I think every copy, because it's out of print, it's probably gone, and people were buying it up wherever they could. Very good book. But even that, some slight differences. And again, the differences may be because we all are seeing through different glasses, different lenses, and it's supposed to be that way.
Mm-hmm. It is, and we should honor and celebrate our ability to see and perceive different things. And one thing I have learned when it comes to perception and dealing with things in our own lives is it's really good to get more than just one perception, especially if you're going through a difficult time, if you're walking through traumas. You want to talk to a few different people, because they're going to be able to show you their perception in different ways. And sometimes that's all it takes. It just takes that little slant on perception to help something click in and you find acceptance. And then once you do that, you can move forward.
So I don't know, I just felt like I wanted to write it down, so forgive the horrible chicken scratch.
It's perfect. I think it's perfect.
And we just wanted to, again, kind of recap some things, but with some new info that we haven't really covered before and clarified. And we were having a session with one of our brothers, Zach, and, I was sharing with him the fact that you've heard the term higher self. And he knew that we do have more than one higher self in many cases. Again, everything is unique. It's all a unique situation. So, there is no one size fits all. Anything put out there that is a one size fits all concept is not the way it is. That's coming from the controllers. It's coming from a distortion. Ultimately, as we said so many times, we are all source, having its unique experience through a unique lens. It's trying to explore everything possible through every single way possible. And that's mind-blowing, yes. But it's exciting, because again, what's our destiny? I remember being in Bible study with a gentleman. This is going way, way back to, being a kid. And I said, so what's the whole purpose of everything? And of course, the whole thing, well, well, after the Antichrist reigns on earth and Jesus comes back with his army of angels and establishes his 1,000-year kingdom, everything's going to be just fine and dandy. And I said, well, if we're going to live forever, so what are we going to do? And he didn't really have an answer, and he thought a bit, and he said, well, I guess we would kind of be co-creators with Christ. And there you go. Now you're getting somewhere. Now you are getting somewhere. It is written, ye are gods. Yes, we all are gods. Source is in us. It's also written in the control book that it's when man says that he is God that the end comes, because the controllers can't have us knowing that source is in every single one of us. That takes away their power. They want source, the creator, outside of us, not within us. Yet the ultimate source of everything, by very definition, has to be inside everything. If it is the ultimate source, if it is, a being, which again is omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent, it's got to be in you and me. Or by very definition, it's not. It's just logical. And so, again, this is the distortion that they give us. What are we going to do? We're going to sing Hosanna, Hosanna for all eternity. Down worshiping. Well, our purpose isn't to worship. Our purpose is to explore. Our purpose is to create. But at the same time, when we start to realize that source is within us, we start to get this love thing that happens, this feeling of gratitude that can come over us when we start to realize, it's not about punishment. It's not about obeying anybody. It's about being ourselves and exploring. This is fun. This could be wonderful. This should be fun. This should be wonderful. It's not about judgment from some vengeful being. No. That's the controllers that want to treat you like a slave. You own nothing and you're going to be happy with it. Well, again, there's the truth. We don't need to own anything, and we can be really happy with not owning anything, but not in their paradigm where they own everything and they control our ability to be what we really are, which is creators. No, this is where we need to shed their yoke. Because what is our purpose? Our purpose is to create and explore and to be ourselves. That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And we're all very unique and we're all very different. And what I've noticed is those who do control us, who we are, have tried to put everybody in the same cookie cutter. They've given everybody the same information. And this is always to benefit us. But if that's not your sole purpose, if that's not your divine archetype, you might not be able to fit into that very well. So I know I'm probably going to say this wrong, but I keep remembering this quote, and I'm pretty sure it's from Einstein, where he says, if you judge a fish by the way it climbs a tree, that fish is going to look really stupid in your eyes. But if you put a fish in the water and then see how it behaves, that's going to be a magnificent animal that can't hardly be beat. So really think about that. We've really been put out of our place. So if we've had struggles and traumas, that's not due to us. That's due to the controllers trying to put us in a realm that's just not fitting. We're not supposed to be there right now.
How many of you have started a job and then you go to training? And in training, they give you a script. And they say, don't be unique. We want you to do this. Say these words when you answer that phone. Hello, thank you for calling so-and-so. It is my pleasure to serve you today. My name is so-and-so. They want you to be their puppet. They don't want you to use your creative ability. They want all that for themselves. They want to be the creative ones. And even at that, they're not creative. They're not creative in the manner that's been intended. This is such a travesty of a world. If you never fit in trying to basically become part of that corporate world, it's because that source spark in you is too strong. You're unique, and you know it, and you know you should be unique. Non-conformity. They're all about conformity. Conform and comply. Are you liberal or are you conservative? I'm me. Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative. Are you an atheist or are you a believer? Do you believe in the one true? No, there is no one true. Again, we're all different. This is all part of their paradigm that's all about controlling us, getting us to worship them, to give our power away to them. And so their source, which is, you could say it's limitless consciousness, it's infinite intelligence. I think that's what the term that was used by the, what was that? The law of one. It's consciousness. And ultimately, that's all we are, is consciousness. We're consciousness. I am. It's the recognition that we are consciousness. And so the entirety of everything that is manifested from thought is basically can be equated with the divine feminine or the mother. And it's everything and anything that ends up taking form. All densities, even in the higher densities. Then you have these beings like the creator gods, like the creator of this universe. Now, this is the thing, that we're in a multiverse. Every single universe is just a cell. It's one tiny cell. Even though it's so incredibly huge, enormous, almost beyond comprehension, it's just one cell. So the creator of this universe is not necessarily the creator of another universe. But you could equate these creator gods with programmers in today's technology and today's world. And, Cindy was talking about source being kind of like that infinite cloud of every experience that every little piece of source out there has ever had. It gets downloaded to this infinite cloud. All these infinite experiences. So the creator gods, the real creator gods, can be equated to the programmers, the designers of these universes or these games that, infinite intelligence decides it wants to take a part of. And each one unique, as each individual is unique. When we look to the archangels, they're the controllers of what we would call the elemental or Devic kingdom. And so there's many other beings underneath them. Of course, we have all sorts of different angelic beings that help with those that are playing the game and maintaining the game, so to speak. So when we talk about different elementals, all these like gnomes and sylphs and sprites and fairies and, all these type of beings, they are real and they do exist, throughout the manifest universe. And they're all part of keeping form, keeping everything going, and also maintaining equilibrium and balance, harmony.
Right. And, when I tap back into these energies with these beings, the one thing that really feels like they want to convey is you are so important to this whole complex. Your energy, your input, and it really seems like they feel that humans, we don't give ourselves enough credit, but our job, our abilities are extremely important for all other entities, and that we should really see ourselves as that importance. And we have gone through schooling to kind of like minimize who we are, and something that has really given us the idea that we are limited. We're limited. We can't go out past this 3D realm. This is just us. It's just me. I'm just stuck here. But no, those energies are far reaching, far extending, and they can do far more than we've ever been taught.
Absolutely. And so then we get into all these different higher density beings, and this is not the complete list. You couldn't make a complete list of all the different beings that are out there. There's so many different types of beings. As we've said in the Puranas, which is one of the Hindu holy books, it's said that there's well over several 100,000 humanoid species in our galaxy alone. So life abounds out there. And so when I see comments, oh, everything else is a demon, it's just like, you might as well still be believing in the Easter bunny as, a bunny that's life-size, human-size, going around bringing literally the candy and putting it away, just like Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy. It's just not accurate. It's not even close. It's part of this controller paradigm that they want to keep, because they want to keep you in the dark. They don't want you understanding this, because this is empowering. So you have, the Arcturians who we were talking to, and the Arcturians are very, very high up, and they work in concert with the archangels and other very, very high-level beings. They're very high vibrational. Again, they're masters of the DNA, and not just DNA on the physical realm. Really, what they're doing is they're manipulating the DNA on the higher densities, and then that will take form and change the DNA here in the physical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I love the way that he puts that, because that's how I visualize it myself. So when we are working on someone energetically, we're working in the higher realms. But how is that going to manifest in your 3D world? Everybody is different. But just like them, and I feel we definitely plug in to a piece of that Arcturian energy, higher self that we are a part of, because we have this strong desire to work in the energy field and heal from an energetic perspective. So we have those beings to assist us while we're working on other people.
So we could view things again as souls and oversouls. And when we're talking about higher selves, again, most of us are combinations of many different beings. So it's not like we even just have one heritage, like, well, yeah, my ancestry is Pleiadian. It's just like here on Earth, how many of us can say that my entire ancestral lineage is just one particular tribe, so to speak? Most of us are combinations of many different tribes, and it's the same thing as far as like the higher beings. So if we're looking at, each one of these you could view as, and you could view these as oversouls as well. Each one of these little circles that we see, could be more than one incarnation as well. And they'll often link up. So, you'll have some people that perhaps are more of just a Syrian lineage, or just a Pleiadian lineage at some point in time. But as time goes on, the branches converge and create all new lineages. And in cases, you can have actual archangels sending a piece of themselves down with a particular purpose, to constantly nudge things back in the right direction if things are getting too skewed on a particular planet or plane, and take one purposeful incarnation after another, again, to nudge things. And they could incarnate with beings of multiple lineages. So yeah, some people literally could have their higher selves being archangels, as well as being from Arcturian, Pleiadian, Syrian, and many others as well. Again, it's kind of countless. And at the same time, if our traumas are not so severe, and this is why they keep us in a state of trauma, if trauma keeps us from finding clarity, if we can work through these traumas, then we can actually, in meditative states and when we are sleeping, we can go and experience a lot. And we could even tap in and kind of climb our way back towards our roots, so to speak, and start to have experiences of our higher selves and knowledge of our higher selves. And that is part of the future that lies right ahead of us.
It's really sad the way that they do traumatize us and create those blocks, so we have a difficult time reconnecting with our ancestral DNA. And a couple of things when we are working with someone, and I am doing like a past life, I'm given whatever past life is most relevant for you today. So whatever is serving you, whatever is that energy is that is forming you, that's the energy that will come forward and show itself. And I also wanted to talk about the internet of things. And I always like to look at the 3D stuff and then give an understanding in the higher realms. So we have this internet. This is our inner beings all connected. And we equate that to the internet, and you understand how all of everything is connected on that sense. So there's a lot of as above, so below, but what's most important is the originality and the organic nature of source, and how those beings that are needing this control, they are trying to recreate that on every field that they can, but only at their level.
Yes, and so, in so many ways, consciousness is absolutely mind-blowing, and at the same time, it's so liberating and freeing, as we can trace our way back up and experience things that you might not think are possible. And so we are unique combinations of these beings. We could think in terms of archetypes, and you could think in terms of painting. If you have this color wheel and you have all these different paints out there and you start mixing combinations, like maybe I'm going to take 2/3 yellow and add just 1/3 of green to that. Let's see what that particular shade's going to be like. And then you might say, well, what if I was to add a little bit of this to that? Now, this is really what we're talking about. Yes, there are archetypes out there. And there are, as we go back up and we retrace our way back to source, we encounter more and more expansive beings, of which, like, you could not get the entirety of an archangel to incarnate on this planet. It's an impossibility. The consciousness is too vast, too expansive. It could not be limited to this tiny little frequency band. And again, this is how these beings take a sliver. Think about the sun. Again, the sun shining its rays everywhere. So some rays, come in our direction. Other rays head towards Venus. Others head towards Mars. Others head towards different areas. Each one of those rays you could think of as an individual soul, so to speak, that then is going to encounter other energies, merge with it, and create something brand new.
Mm-hmm. And I just love the way you explain that. And then ultimately we have a finished product that is 3D in nature, and we can see, taste, feel on a different dimension. But it does take all of those different beautiful energies to come together at various stages, various amounts, to create our own uniqueness. So that's why there is no such thing as putting anyone in a box, in a cookie cutter. And if you try, well, it's not always going to have very good results. It will create some confusion. It will create some confusion, misunderstanding, as it should. Because if we're not living our purpose, if we are not in alignment, we're going to have some trouble. It's going to be a bit of a bumpy road at times.
So I hope this was interesting for you guys, and we'll cut this one here, and we'll expand and expound on it in future videos. As we'd love to go into more depth along these lines, as this is the fun stuff. And really it is the very important stuff, though we understand that many people are just not ready for this. Many people are still so in the cookie cutter that something like this just boggles their mind at this point in time. But more and more over time, we'll be ready to understand this. This is how it is written, ye are gods, because we are. And at the same time, we are all very, very unique combinations of so many different energies. It's awesome, really, to understand. And truly, the future is very, very bright. We just have to get past this one little period of darkness, which in the bigger scheme of things is just that. It's just a little period of darkness.
God bless and namaste.
Namaste.